Welcome back. In our last video, we explored some of the signs that you might be experiencing or having symptoms of trauma showing up in your singing voice. And today we're going to get a little bit more towards solution, a way to solve or work with that. And so I'm super thankful to be able to have Ron here again for this video. And today, Ron de Jager is going to be telling us more about this fascinating concept called our primal sound. So it did spark some curiosity with me as a tool towards healing. So I'm looking forward to this discussion around the use of our voice. And yeah, we'll dive into this a little deeper. Ron, thanks for joining us again.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So starting with the basics, for those who haven't heard the term, I really hadn't heard the term because I don't come from a singing background. But what is this primal sound? What makes it different from a normal singing vowel, I think you call it? And why is it so significant for someone whose voice feels either trapped or silenced?
Yeah, so primal sounds kind of like just our instinctive sound, something we do very, very naturally. Okay. And so if someone has been told maybe when they were younger not to make a sound, not to sing, those types of things, it just can be a signal that, hey, something else has happened in here. And so trying to release that, because probably there's tension somewhere. And so looking for where that tension is and trying to release it. Okay. So just beginning to work with it's kind of almost a guttural type feel, just like that type of thing. But even before that, just being able to sigh and listening to what the sigh is telling us. So if we just go, like that tells you something, right? Yeah. It almost sounds like something's caught at the back of the throat or something like that. If I go, something still sounds a little bit there. But if I go, and can the breath come out evenly and freely? So just starting to find where tension is, and through breath, just starting to release it. Okay. So I think as therapists, as singing teachers, just listening to the rate of the exhalation, listening to hear if there's any hiccups, if it goes, any stutterings, just even in the breath. Yeah. It's just kind of a starting path towards that. So listening to the breath can kind of tell you a lot of what's going on. Okay. A second thing is to be aware of, especially if a lot of tension is created through singing, is what the subglottic pressure is like. So subglottic pressure is the pressure you have below your vocal folds. Okay. So when you lift something heavy, like weights or something like that, we usually go, yeah, like that. If we do, that's our vocal folds coming together, and we're building a lot of pressure up against that. If we do that when we sing, then it can create a lot of tension throughout. So we want to breathe through that, right? Instead of just creating that high tension. So what's it sound like to breathe in and breathe out? Not, and then I built up a bunch of pressure. Okay. So that's another tool, just starting to listen to, hey, am I building up a lot of tension and pressure before I release air? Because that'll translate into sound as well. Okay. And then taking that sound and breathing in, and then just starting to do just the lightest and lowest of sighs. So just something like that. Why don't you try that, Caleb?
Go ahead, try it.
I'd love it if you try that. Just a nice low, and then we can see where your tension is.
So I'm getting unpacked on camera. All right, I will try to. Now I have tension, Ron.
That's good. You're in good hands. I'm a professional.
Okay. So just
breathe in. Yeah. And if you look in the camera, your chest is rising up and down. So we would look at just what's it like to just keep that stationary and breathe low. So it's a little taller and yeah. And so if you look at this afterwards, we just see that there's a little bit of grabbing in the neck through there as you make the sound. So what's it like for you to just find just a so where we actually don't have to put anything on our voice at all. So we kind of go in and kind of strip everything away. Okay. It's like a certain type of...
The little things that I don't notice I'm doing almost.
Exactly.
That are happening as part of that.
So if you watch a baby when they're born, if they're laying in their crib, and especially if they're on their back, their little tummies will just rise up and down. That's why they can scream for so long, because they support it so well with breath. But then as we get older, we develop all kinds of things, especially especially through puberty, that's a big one. And all of a sudden the shoulders start coming forward. We get more tension, and we put these things on ourselves that weren't there when we were a baby.
Okay.
Right? So kind of getting back to that original, what's it like to just breathe low? Just make sounds, and then building on those sounds. So even if you're not a professional singer or even have a desire to sing, just what's it like to release the voice in a healthy way, so that even if you speak in public or in front of people, what's it like to just release the voice and not put the extra things on it that we do, like, are the shoulders coming up? Because that'll create some tension, and that'll show us that some tension is happening.
Yes.
So what's it like to just breathe and release? It's kind of like those balls that just go like this, boom, back and forth. So we inhale and release.
Right.
And release, right?
Newton's cradle. Yes.
Yeah. So it's not create tension and then release, right? And then we can start getting into, like, why is the tension there? Where is it coming from? Where did it begin?
Yeah.
And what keeps feeding it?
Yeah.
And what compounds that a little bit more.
Yeah.
So getting back to that kind of primal sound. Owen Brown, in Discovering the Voice, he writes a lot about this.
Okay.
And my teacher actually studied with him. He was a prophet. I think he worked for Juilliard for a while.
Okay.
He was did a lot with this. And just getting back to, hey, what's my sound like, and where can I find my sound? Because often as singers, we'll hear great singers like, I got to sound like that. But what's it like for you to sound like you? And what does you actually sound like?
Yeah.
So when we get singers in the first years of college, the larynx doesn't fully ossify until around 17 to 18 years old.
Okay.
And so you're really getting a brand new voice at 18. So we're getting them quite young then.
Okay.
So it's just this one big discovery of, like, let's find out your voice. And your voice is so much more than just the physical sound, right? Like, what's your voice? What do you have to offer that's unique? And what do you have to say? And so, like, psychologically, physically, what's your message? And how can we make the physical work with the psychological as well, so that the message can be really clear, whatever you're going to say.
Okay.
Whatever character that is you're portraying or song you're singing.
Yeah. It's like further steps of identity development is what it sounds like to me.
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
just that self-discovery, who I am and how I sound and how I show up in this world, in this particular case, in the singing world.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And I think if you're hand in hand working through that in some way, either with a therapist and you're working alongside with a good singing teacher, that's just so powerful at finding that identity as a singer.
Those two things together be very powerful for sure. Yeah, very powerful. Like, I noticed even my reaction to ask me to do that on camera, that felt vulnerable, right? To have to do that. Maybe a little bit strange too, because I don't try that very much deliberately. But how do you guide someone to create that sense of safety for themselves when or before they attempt to even try an exercise like this, Ron?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like baby steps, right?
Okay.
And so, first of all, you want, if you're going to go into singing, or you're having trouble with your singing voice, find someone that you trust.
Okay.
And often you can hear that by word of mouth. This singing teacher actually works really good with this, or this therapist is really strong with this. Finding a place where you can trust. And I think as you start to release the voice, like for us, we're going to do it in the studio together. So you're going to make sounds. First of all, if I was your voice teacher, then you and I, we just make sounds, and it's free to make any ugly sound you want. I tell students that your lesson is free time. When you're in the practice room, you're the one that has to pay attention to everything that's going on. But when you come here, it's like, I'm having trouble with my voice. Here's Ron. Now it's your job. Now you do your job. And so just let me do it. It's your free time to make all kinds of sounds. Then we step out of that and we'll do something like a studio class. So like 5 to 10 of my voice students, they'll come to my house, Elena will play, and they'll sing in front of each other. Okay. And so it's like a very safe, they're all easing them into the performance side of it. Yeah. And then doing one where there's performance classes. So it's actually just a performance. Like I won't work with anybody. And there's things like vocal master class, a class I teach where you stand and sing in front of the class. The class will make comments. I'll work with you in front of the class, and then you get to sit down, and then your classmate will stand up. And it's so freeing because each of you is doing the same thing, and watching students progress through that class is just, it's so rewarding.
Yeah. Sounds like a real life passion for you.
I'm hoping you're going to take the class sometime.
Are you? Yeah. Wow. No promises.
Okay.
Yes. I'm so intrigued, though. I will definitely admit that. I don't know if I have the courage, though, but yeah. Fascinating.
Something you were talking about earlier, and I've done this with my students in one of the pedagogy classes that I teach, is at the start of the class, I said, in about 10 minutes, I'm going to ask one of you to come up here and sing one of the pieces you're working on in your lesson, and I'm going to work with you, and then go on teaching for the next 10 minutes. I don't have any of their attention.
They're all like, yes.
Right? Because all of a sudden it's like, what'll I sing? Oh my goodness, I didn't wear anything appropriate. I am not warmed up. Oh, it's going to sound terrible. And then I come back to them like, actually, I'm not going to ask anybody to sing, but can you tell me what was going through your mind during that moment?
Yeah.
And it's amazing the things that all of a sudden come out rather than, awesome, I'm ready to sing. This is a great learning experience, right? It's like, no, oh my goodness, here we go.
It's like flash mob group therapy, Ron.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you
love
go.
It. That's hilarious.
Totally.
Yeah. Good for you. Yeah, because it does. I noticed I even started telling myself a story when you said you started my class, right?
Yes.
So those things immediately begin to surface when we're faced with that kind of vulnerability. Yeah.
So I'll just say that singers need an incredible amount of courage.
Yeah.
You have to be vulnerable all the time. So personal.
So personal.
And get up there and just let anybody just say their own opinion of whatever you just did. Yeah. But instead, we just get out there. We're going to offer this gift. And I hope you like the gift.
Yeah. No, I love it. That's a good reframe too. And when someone tries this simple hum or the sigh, this primal sound, what's the real goal? Like, what should they be aware of? How does one small exercise like this connect to that larger journey of healing that we've been talking about across these videos?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of a twofold question. It just depends on the individual.
Okay.
So from the therapeutic side of it, I've seen where it's all of a sudden unlocked something for the client. I just ask them to do the exercise. Don't even ask them to be aware of anything. Just do this exercise. Mm-hmm. And it'll make itself manifest as to what the purpose is.
Yeah.
And, I've had clients be like, whoa, how did you know? Right. And really, as long as there's no permanent damage to the vocal folds, an individual can learn to sing at quite a fairly acceptable level, but all of a sudden this releasing of sound and then gradually the sustaining of sound into something like singing, and then just to feel the connection between, hey, I'm still releasing, it's incredibly cathartic and therapeutic. And I've seen that with clients before. And so if someone who's not a professional singer all of a sudden starts to experience that they actually can make a sound, not even so much that's acceptable, but that's freeing, right? For them, once it becomes a freeing experience for them, it's going to be much more meaningful to an audience.
Yeah. More about the liberation than the skill that they're applying in the moment. Yeah.
So for a professional singer to start to unlock what really is their sound and to kick in and to really connect with that and to really find their own unique identity of sound and message of what they have to offer. Because it's difficult to understand that maybe your whole identity is not just, I am just a singer and that's all I have valuable to offer the world. Okay. There's so much more than just a singer, right?
Yeah.
And discovering that makes them a stronger singer and communicator.
Yes. Right. Yeah, powerful to put that bigger picture together with them stepping into and really inhabiting sort of the unique signature of their own voice and how that is expressed out of or embodied out of their history and who they are.
Yeah, for sure.
Super powerful. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. So great. Love this concept. So accessible, Ron. Thank you for sharing that with us. It does shift the focus from fixing the problem to reconnecting or connecting more deeply with yourself, which I love about it. So thanks for taking us through that. And for everyone watching, We hope this gives you a tangible piece of hope and something you can actually try as well, a practical tool to explore. Remember, as Ron has been telling us, that this is a gentle process. So be gentle with yourself and just tenderly step through this and just notice with curiosity and compassion how it goes for you as you try these primal sounds. Mm-hmm. Notice what comes up, the little things in your mind, as I was even noticing here sort of in the moment with Ron. So also super useful. And if you feel like you would like more healing and more help on this journey, please feel free to reach out to Ron or connect with any one of our team members through our website at therapevo.com. We'll put a link in the description below as well. Thank you so much for listening. And Ron, thanks again for sharing this with us.
Thanks for having me.